Hello and welcome to Dario's Tabletop, and today we'll talk about what kind of player you are and if aliens are real. Well, we'll find out later. So, I made two videos about 40K, and I found out I'm a Timmy. I didn't know, but I'm a Timmy, and I'm also a Johnny, and I'm also a bit of a Spike. And we'll talk about the certain characters because in the summer I was playing Warhammer 40K, and I was new to the game. I was a returning player, and I enjoyed the game. It's pretty cool. Like, you bring your army, you paint it, then there's like primaries, secondaries, and I was complaining that that's everything to the game. Like, that's all there is. I would have liked to play a mission where maybe a pilot is lost and I have to go and get him and something like that. And some players said, "Oh, okay, you're a narrative player." Yeah, but I also want to win and I want to explore the game. And I had the feeling that the meta as it is, and the videos on YouTube are always like the 5 best units for your Space Marine armies, why you suck at Tyranids, why you suck at 40K. And those are good. Those are good and helpful videos. They helped me a lot, and they kept me growing to become a better player and to understand the game, and it was tons of fun. But yeah, there's definitely something. There are different needs for players, and different people want to play a game in different ways. And I'm originally from I'm OG Warhammer, but I'm also OG Tabletop and Magic the Gathering and comics and all of that stuff. So there's definitely certain aspects to the game, and I think we should find out what player I am, what player you are, and so we can communicate better, and also to find new and creative ways to play the game, because all I see is that competitive play, but I see different lanes and possibilities. So let's get into the Timmy. So in Magic the Gathering terms, or if somebody still recognizes MetaZoo, the Timmy player is definitely one that plays once in a while. So maybe the casual gamer, the beer and bratzel gamer, and he finds a cool centerpiece model. I don't have a 40K model, it's up there, but he finds a big, brutal thing and he buys it and he wants to play it, and he thinks, oh man, this would be so cool to field this monster and to smash the enemy army with that. And that's amazing. I mean, that is pretty cool. It is pretty primal, and it's fun. It is fun. I think there are also some other aspects, like maybe the Timmy is a guy who comes, who plays, doesn't necessarily have to win the game, but wants to enjoy it. Maybe plays 10 games, loses 7 of them, but wins 3, and he's totally fine with that. Like, he's enjoying every game, and just cool dude or cool girl to hang around with. Always fun, always great. And I think I'm that player. I'm a Timmy. I have to recognize it and I have to own it. I'm a Timmy player. But the Timmys are good. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's I think they bring fun to the game, and yeah, they do not necessarily play what's best or what's mechanically maybe the finest tool in the box. They want to have a cool game. It's the rule of cool. It's what brings you joy. And all of those aspects are very important to yourself and to the game. Then there's the Johnny. And I thought I was the Johnny, but I'm maybe more of a Timmy, or maybe I'm like an intersection of all the three. Like I'm pretty much the trinity force of those things. But as far as I understood it, like the Johnny looks more at the game and thinks, okay, what can I do with these pieces? Like, I mean, I like this, but maybe I want to win with that. But what's up with this miniature? Why is it not performing? Why is everybody bringing the broken shit? Why is the meta so calcified? Can we shake that up? And I am that guy. I used to play Magic the Gathering and go on tournaments, and sometimes everybody was playing the same shit. And in my mind, and I think that's totally my head, it was like I picked a card, and I looked at it, and I thought, that's something interesting. Nobody's playing this. Wouldn't it be cool if I would run this with this and then combine it and then break the meta and play a rogue deck? And I did. Back in the days, it was like everybody was playing Tron. It's a really long time ago, but it was a control. It was blue-red control with the Tron lands, and it was producing a lot of mana, and it was controlling the opponent until it could win the game with some fatties or a combo or something like that. And I had, and there's my Timmy love, I had love for red cards. There was a giant Solifuge. It was a 4/1 with trample, and it couldn't be affected by enemy target spells and a lot of small stuff. But I was looking at all of this, and I was seeing the curve. I was seeing like turn 1, turn 2, turn 4, turn 4, and I thought, man, this is so cheap and so cool. And maybe nobody can stop this. Like maybe nobody sees it coming. And I was playing the deck, and everybody in the tournaments, like there were some veterans I looked up to, and they became later my friends. And they started liking me because like I was always a cheerful and cool guy and just cool to get along with. And when I started playing that deck, everybody was thinking like, what are you playing? Like, what is this trash? And then everybody lost. Like, I went 4-0, and that's amazing. And I was always that Johnny part of me, seeing different pieces and thinking, why is nobody playing that? Same with bolt action. You have the American Airstrike or different units, and everybody looks at the cards and at the game or at the miniatures and thinks, okay, this is the way you play it. But in my mind, it's always like, okay, this unit could be cool, but it's not cool because the rules are kind of complicated, or maybe the point costs are too high. But what if I take this expensive unit and I bring a very cheap unit? Same here with bolt action. Like you take the Panzer, but then you also bring some very, very cheap units, and you kind of min-maxing with that, and your opponent is not expecting, and he doesn't know how to play against it. And then all of a sudden, he's losing with his amazing army, which won him all the tournaments, and because he only played mirror matches or against the meta, he doesn't know how to deal with your list. And I love that. I love fucking with people and shaking things up. And because like sometimes things get so solidified and people get so big egos, and I like to crush them. And so you can see I have definitely a Johnny in me, and I have a Timmy in me. And then there's the third person, and that's the Spike. And I think I want to win, but it's not the most important thing to me. But I knew a Spike, and if you are a Spike, or if you know a Spike, I will shame them in a second, but you really can't, because like sometimes you're just ticking that way. Like you have a very competitive edge. You just tick that way. Like you look at the list and you just want to play the best, and that gives you joy. And if you're a Spike, you must own that, and you need to go to competitive events and play competitive lists, and check out friends that are very competitive. And I think you need to communicate that, because if you don't, people could get mad at you, and you could be a very lonely Spike. Let me share you one experience with one Spike I know from a local game store, which isn't there anymore. I wouldn't say it was a cool guy, but very respected. And but I'm someone who wants to like everybody. I don't know. I'm just wired that way. And one day I was there, and he was playing 40K, and he was playing Tyranids, and he was introducing a friend to the game who was playing Ultramarines. And his friends and he himself, like his Tyranids looked amazing, and his friend's army, the Ultramarines, looked amazing. But you could see that the Ultramarines player, it was very basic stuff. It was a dreadnought, a couple of Space Marines, I don't know, just normal intercessors. You could see it. It was a newbie list. He was bringing what he got out of a start collecting box or a combat patrol, but it was cool. It was just one of his first game, and this other player had brought his Tyranids, and he was teaching the guy the game. But, and I don't know, sometimes not everybody is a good teacher, and also that you have to forgive, or like you can't judge people. Like I usually am a good teacher, but I think everybody's built with different skill sets, and so you gotta just own that. And he was teaching the guy, but he was also crushing him. Like first turn, the Space Marine player moved forward. He shot at some Tyranids and killed a bunch of, not a bunch, just a few of them. And then turn two, or turn one, the Tyranid player, this Spike guy, he advanced with all of his army, and then with some stratagems, he gave his Tyranids even more reach. And so he reached close combat, turn one. He shot dead the dreadnought, and he crushed the guy that he wanted to teach, like in turn one, turn two. And this guy had character. He was holding up like the Ultramarine player, but I don't know. For a new player, I think you have to welcome the new player. I don't say go easy on them. They should learn, but teaching somebody the game and also letting them have some fun is a very important experience. I think they can be frustrated at some moves, but not too much that they quit the game. Same for boxing or kickboxing or sparring or something like this. When you get into something, there should be a learning curve, and you should be excited to learn the thing. You should have fun. You should also kind of have the feeling that you can get good at it, that you enjoy it. And it can be challenging, but it shouldn't be so challenging that the next time you don't want to go. And I think that this Spike player, I don't know, I don't know, but I think he crushed his friend with his army, and the Spike player came again, but the other guy I never see coming again. And once I took a friend in a friendly game of League of Legends, and with a play group, and I told to all my buddies in the play group, I said, hey, we have to start with a new account if we are playing with this guy. And they told me, no, just bring him to a normal game. And I told him, no, like he can't learn. He will just face overwhelming opposition. He will get crushed, and he will never come again. And that's what happened. And we lost a very good gamer. He played professionally StarCraft 2, and a very cheerful gamer. And we lost him to like, it would have been so much fun to have that guy to play with us, League of Legends or some MOBA style games. But he never returned. Like, he played, he got smashed, he never returned. And that's stupid. And so that's the bane of the Spike. And if you're wired that way, I don't think you can change it. You may not even see it that you're wired that way. And you shouldn't tone it down. Like, if you have that, live it out. But communicate that you're a very competitive player and that you're always bringing the best things and that you will always crush the enemy's soul in turn 1, turn 2, and that's fun for you. And yeah, what else can I say? And sometimes you're not just one, you're a mixture of all of these things. And I think we have to do a couple of things. Realize that these archetypes are real, which one you are, what you want from a game. Sometimes you want different things. Sometimes you maybe want to play very competitive or go to a tournament. Sometimes you might want to play some narrative cool mission. Sometimes you just want to chill out and have fun and throw some dice. Sometimes you want to see if that underpowered unit can be made great. I don't want to say that I play League of Legends competitively, but I played it for very long. I started in 2009 when the beta came out, and I played also much other games, and I always had a certain heart for underpowered units, and I always thought, how can I make that happen? So that's definitely my Timmy, Johnny, and Spike thing. But yeah, find out what you are and communicate that to other people, and try out new stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to raise a certain awareness. And I also wanted to say that if you own Warhammer 40K, that you might play your Pariah Nexus, your missions, your primaries, your secondaries, but maybe it's also time for your local game group to play some, I don't know, narrative games, or to have like a bit more fun and a bit more creative, where you use your own brain, where you're not asking somebody else or a company for permission on how to play a game, but you take matters in your own hand, and you create something new with it. Do it. We see us.